Greetings, family. Welcome. This is Dr. Kia Pruitt. It is Saturday, April the 19th, and the time is 2:19 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The year, as you know, is 2025. And again, this is Saturday, the day before Easter. So happy Easter, everybody. Happy Passover if you celebrate Passover, and Happy New Year. Happy Ayana Festival. So the day is about Ayana or Estar or Estre, the goddess of fertility. And that's why we celebrate Passover and Easter around this time. Most people don't know about that. But happy Easter Passover year or celebration. Family, I just wanted to come on to tell you that I heard some information that I thought was worth coming on to the show to talk about. So welcome. It's good to see everybody. Maxine says that she's hailing from Conyers, Georgia. So greetings to you, Sister Maxine. And we see Jamie says, hiya, beautiful sister. Hello. I know you have good news, sending love and light from Ohio, my home state. Hello. Also, Sharon says, greetings to the Soul family. Gino is in the house as well. He says, hello from Moreno Valley, California. We see Brother David Noble, King David, checking in, giving greetings to the entire Soul family and to me. And he sends out wholeness and love and vibration. He says the UK, he's from the UK. All right, have a blissful day. So keep checking in, family. It is the Sabbath day or the seventh day of rest from our labors. If you are a Messianic Jew or if you are from the Hebraic bloodline, this is your day of rest from work and from all your labors. But if you are a Christian, you're celebrating Easter or getting ready for Easter. If you are Hebrew or Jewish, you are in the Passover Feast of Unleavened Bread season. So welcome to everybody. And if you don't do any of those things, but you acknowledge this as springtime, as a new season, as the time for prosperity and abundance, welcome to the Dr. Kia Pruitt Show. Alan is from Connecticut. Hello. Phoenix Rising is in the house. Love from South Africa, Phoenix Rising says. Sister Cheryl Watkins is here, hailing from Victorville, California. Welcome. Rich Pritch is always in the house, and he sends me good news all the time. So thank you, Rich Pritch, for joining us. Thank you for the intel that you often send me on my Facebook Messenger. Also, we see Novo is in the house from Ohio. Welcome. Sister Rose is here from Delaware. Sister Lisa is from Iowa. Welcome. We're going to have a great, big, huge year-long celebration in Iowa starting Memorial Day this year, 2025, and it will go all the way to July the 4th of 2026. So we look forward to that. This is a year-long celebration for the entire nation. Grand Rising to Sister Monique. Also, Jamie's in the house. Grand Rising. Truth is here as well. So, family. Meechie Slay. Hi, Meechie. Hi. Hello, beloved. Meechie is an attorney general. Is that right, Meechie? Is it attorney general? Meechie Slay has been in this community of telling the truth, exposing the darkness of the government and how the elite operate. And he also is known for helping people learn more about operating outside the public. And he was one of those people, he was like the precursor to this movement of discharging debt. So welcome, Meechie Slay. I'm always happy to see you. Very, very phenomenal gentleman. He and I were part of a group. I think he was one of the founding fathers as well as I, called an ACH payment group on Facebook some years ago, maybe 2017. That page had grown to over 100,000 members before Facebook turned us off and dismantled our group because we were actually discharging debts. And at one point, we were so successful, people were discharging debts using their trust and their social security numbers lawfully. But what happened, so many of us were successful that they started reversing those payments that we had discharged. So we had discharged like utility bills, rent payments, all type of bills. And some people were successful, some weren't. Again, they reversed the charges and then they started like threatening to arrest people. That's when Heather Ann Tucci was very, very popular for helping people to reverse their or to get out of their debt or discharging debt. And we thought it was interesting because she talked about using the UCC1, I think, to discharge debt. And it's interesting because her name is Tushi, TUCC1. And then we were like, oh, she might really be kind of like a part of the elite, right? Because she was talking about UCC1. Her name was Tushi. And it was just a big old a mess. Grateful for the work that she did, but she exposed the deep state, what got her locked up and got some of the people part of our group in trouble. They started reversing the charges, then they dismantled our group, and that's how we knew for certain we were on the right track. That might have been right before Trump got in 2016 or right when he got in. And then that's when things accelerated. So it's always good to see Meechie Slay in the house. Also, Meechie is one of the gentlemen who talked to us about why child support is unlawful and it's against the republic, it's unconstitutional. And he also shared how giving somebody's social security number away, even to the deep state or the government, was illegal and unlawful. And so what they did was they used the man's social security number to access his trust to pay themselves, the government, and then to give the woman or the other party money for the children. Big mess that the government has been involved in. That's why I believe John Fitzgerald Kennedy Jr. when he says it's a big crime, a mafia family that runs everything in the government. Hi, H, it's good to see you. Living an Hour is here. Welcome. H is from Texas. Sister Elizabeth is hailing from Missouri. She says, I love you, amiga. Thank you. Te amo. Blessings to Sister Lucy Free. Meechie is a private attorney general, now consumer advocate. So he was the first person that taught me how to live outside the government, outside the public, which I'm going to talk about. Meechie, if you want to come on, please let me know. I'll send you a link. Meechie taught us about how to live outside of the public and live in the private sector, which is why he was a private attorney general. Let me know if you want to join the show, Meechie, talk a little bit more about that. I'll send you a link. You'll have to send me your email, okay? And I'll send you a link. We're going to talk about that just briefly today, and we're going to tell you how that is related to Publix stores closing on Easter. Hello, I will maintain. Good to see you. Novo is in the house. So excited for the celebration. Meechie says, thank you, beloved. You're welcome. You guys, I am hoarse. I need more water. I've been drinking a lot, but obviously not enough. Marquitas was a part of that group too. Marquitas, welcome. He says, hello, my friend. Oh my God, Marquitas, we had the bomb group, didn't we? 100,000 people. We had our own bank. Remember, we started our own sovereign bank. We were killing the game. That's where we met Rena Houston, Whitney Houston's oldest daughter that was sold into sex trafficking, child sex trafficking. That's also where we met Kendra, who is one of the daughters of Elvis Presley, who is also sold into child sex trafficking. And we formed some really strong bonds in that group. We were discharging debt. We were helping people with credit repair. Some of us became certified credit repair specialists. I mean, we were doing it, family. Wow, it's good to see my old friends from way back in the day. California's in the house. Hi, Sister Tawana. Good to see you. Greetings to H2O. H2O Mello says, greetings from California. Happy Resurrection Weekend and celebration of Ishtar, Isis, the divine feminine and creation. So Isis, Ishtar, Ayana, whoever you guys want to call her, is the divine goddess. She is the goddess of creation. She is the goddess of fertility. She is Mama. So Mama energy is flooding the planet. We've had a lot of amazing, beautiful masculine energy, right? And we had some people that took advantage of masculine energy and tried to demonize Well, that was crazy. Yeah, I had network problems. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, family. Yeah, I glitched out. Those were the good old days when we were all helping people from all over the world discharge their debts. I agree. Meechie, if you want to join, please. I can add you. Oh, Meechie. Okay. Yeah, I'm so excited. Okay. All right, Meechie, 1 minute. Let me send you a link. Hold on. What is it? Meechie Slay at gmail.com. Hold on, family. Y'all said y'all wanted to hear from him. Hold on. So we're going to talk about how we know that the government has been conspiring against we the people and how we're now getting out of that. Hold on, Meechie. I'm adding you. Keep chatting, family. I got to add Meechie. 1 minute. What is it again? Meechie Slay at gmail.com. Okay. One more again. I'm coming. This is all going to be relevant, family. Just give me a chance to add him. Okay, Meechie Slay. Oh, I got you in my Gmail. Okay, here we go. Meechie, I sent you a private link so you can talk about this. I know Chief Mac talks to us about this all the time. I just want to bring you all someone else who knows about this as well. He's been doing this for probably over a decade. Keep chiming in, family. TDA is still active. Yes. We were helping people get their TDA accounts. Oh my God. The government shut us down for good reason because people went overboard, Dr. Bob. We were helping discharge that. These folks started buying boats, property, commercial property. We were like, slow down now. We ain't trying to get locked up. And then some people actually got locked up, right? So we had to chill out, and then they shut our group down. Over 100,000 people. Those were the good old days. Oh my God. Trump and others have mentioned a reset. Okay. Wow. Yeah, you guys lost me for a minute, but I'm back. I'm Mama Chula. Who's Mama Chula? I'm so glad you guys can see me. Is it breaking up now? YouTube is full of it. Who's Mama Chula? So we're going to bring a private attorney general on in a minute. I sent him a link. Meechie, I hope you got the link. I sent it to your email. Once you get the link, Meechie, then I will bring you up. Okay. Oh, Meechie, you in the house?
Hey, what's going on? Can you hear me?
Hey, King, I can hear you well. How are you?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Hold on. I was trying to get my camera together, so
Okay.
it's not working for some reason.
You want me to
Okay,
send you
but
another link?
however, no. As long as they can hear me, that's fine. I don't really care about them seeing my face, but
They care. People usually like to
transparency
see
is
you.
everything.
Oh,
Correct. Transparency is everything. So
it
I'm
really
trying to
is.
I'm trying to
What
get
the
a
heck?
picture.
While you're doing that, can I talk just a little bit about?
Sure.
Okay. So Meechie Slay, was a
Yeah.
private attorney general, and now
Correct.
he's a consumer advocate. He's
Correct.
going to
Yeah.
try to he's going to try to get the image up if possible. We had some problems even on my side, but the reason why I came on before you joined us, I know this is divine, Brother Meechie, is because not long ago, a couple days ago, I saw some information that was publicized on mainstream media that said Publix, which is a grocery store, mainly in Florida, maybe other
Correct.
places. Sir?
Down south. Yeah, down
Yeah.
south. They got it in North Carolina, South Carolina. Yeah, it's a southern grocery store chain. Yeah, I'm familiar.
Okay. So they're closing for Easter. And I thought, okay, who cares? I mean, it's a national holiday. Uh, a lot of places will close for Easter. Um, And then I started thinking about it, and I called one of my friends and I said, I know that this is newsworthy for a reason. And as we started to dive in, we thought, okay, Publix, Publix, is similar, excuse me for all this different things I'm bringing up, to public. And so when I thought about it, I said, what they're trying to tell us is that on 4/20, which is Easter, Publix will be closed because the public sector is closing. This is just me talking. What is the difference between the public sector and the private sector? Publix. The public sector is any entity that's owned, operated, or controlled by the government. The private sector is an entity that's owned, operated, or controlled by private individuals or groups. Private individuals or groups are people that operate outside the jurisdiction of the United States Incorporated. The deep state, cabal, Illuminati, whoever that have been running the world often puts out news and information to let you know what's really going on behind the scenes. The way I interpret this is that we're moving out of the public sector where the government will control everything and into the private. So saying that Publix will close on Easter Sunday, somebody had to break down or do the gematria of Easter or 4/20 so I can even get a more clear understanding or understanding. But the government is being downsized by DOGE, or the Department of Government Efficiency, as you all know, and not only the Department of Government Efficiency, but the Trump administration. Now, according to my knowledge, Donald Trump, the Grand Army of the Republic, and Elon Musk. First of all, Donald Trump, Elon Musk, they're all characters. They're all actors playing a role. They wear a mask, and they are charged with getting rid of the government or downsizing the government and getting rid of the deep state. Who is leading this charge is the Grand Army of the Republic, and more importantly to me is benevolent factors behind the Grand Army of the Republic. So saying that Publix is going offline or will close on Easter, to me is a clue that the public is ending, the public sector, the government is ending. This is all Court of the United States overturning the Chevron doctrine. The Chevron doctrine was a so-called law that expanded the powers of the fake government. So the Chevron doctrine, also known as the Chevron deference, said that these government agencies could create any laws or statutes, codes, legalities, and policies that they wanted to enforce the people to abide by them. And if you didn't, according to Chevron doctrine, these agencies, FBI, CIA, IRS, or government agencies known as EPA, and I have a whole list of 441 of them. If you didn't comply, they could fine you, according to the Chevron doctrine. They could do whatever, they can even imprison you. Well, the Supreme Court of the United States, over the course of last summer, said that all these government agencies were unlawful, treasonous, not a part of our Constitution or our republic for our Constitution, and therefore had to be dismantled. The Supreme Court of the United States went a step further and said any judge that knew of a government agency that put a fine on us and they didn't, deferred back to those agencies and told those agencies, any judge that knew of these government agencies that put a fine on us and said you had to abide by whatever that government agency said, and they deferred back to those government agencies as being experts, according to the Supreme Court of the United States, those judges also committed treason. And if a judge knew of a judge that allowed that to happen, then those judges committed misprision of treason. So the Chevron doctrine said that the judges were they were in cahoots with the federal government. So the judges were committing treason and these federal agencies were committing treason. So then Donald Trump was giving a charge by the benevolent factors, if you believe those, of the Supreme Court to dismantle the government. And that's why he came up with the Department of Government Efficiency, and he tasked Elon Musk with dismantling them. Now, what I'm seeing, and what you all know, and I know Meechie knows this anyway, is that they're all actors, whether they're benevolent or malevolent. They're all actors. They're all playing a part of the movie, and they're all doing the bidding of whoever's really running things. But the good news is that this is now operating on our behalf. That's the good news. But you don't have to wait on Donald Trump. You don't have to wait on the government. You don't have to wait on Elon Musk. What Dr. Kia Pruitt is saying is, I'm just decoding what I see happening. But at the end of the day, you are the savior for whom you've been looking. I am the savior for whom I've been looking. We are our own savior. We are sovereign individuals. And I'm going to turn it over to Brother Meechie in just give me 60 more seconds to talk more about whatever the Most High puts on his heart. Another thing I thought was fascinating, and it kind of bothered me a little bit, was that they just sworn in another actor called Dr. Oz to be the chief of Medicare and Medicaid. Now, the only reason why it bothered me is because I only knew Dr. Oz to be an actor or an entertainer that was friends with, what's her name? Oprah Winfrey. But, everything is this, the whole world is a stage. I know there's a reason why they did this, but I noticed that Donald Trump here is wearing a gold tie. Dr. Oz is being sworn in. When I looked at his credentials, they say he graduated from Harvard Medical School. I didn't know that. But I said, okay, all the world is a stage. Dr. Oz being sworn in during the time where our republic is being restored. Donald Trump is wearing a gold tie is very telling to me. What does Oz represent? That's probably not his real name. The Wizard of Oz. What happened in the movie The Wizard of Oz? You had a man behind the scenes, behind a curtain that was controlling everything, talking about the deep state, the Illuminati, the so-called elite people. Then you had Dorothy, who was going to see the Oz. She had all these characters. You guys know about the guy that didn't have a heart, didn't have a brain. All those characters represented something. In the book, Dorothy had silver slippers, not ruby slippers, and she was easing on down the road. What road was that? The bricks road or brick roads. She was easing on down the road. What color was the road? The yellow brick road. What do the yellow bricks represent? Gold, returning back to the gold standard. She had on silver slippers going down a gold road. And what was the type of road she was going down? Bricks. What is the entity or the conglomerate of nations that's destroying the central banking system? The BRICS bloc: Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and all those nations that join BRICS. Ease on down the yellow bricks road. All of this is a stage. It's a game. It is acting at its finest of these people in power, according to Dr. Kia Pruitt, who have been playing with the minds, the emotions, and the energy of the people. And to me, they're still playing games with all of these codes and these messages. And on one hand, I get it. It's kind of exhilarating and exciting when you're following and you get it and you break down the gematria. But I'm tired of the games. You guys see what I'm saying? I really don't like, that we have to keep decoding everything and breaking everything down. But all the world is a stage. We're returning to the gold standard. You saw Trump in the gold tie. They're dismantling the government. And we are destroying the deep state and returning to our republic. And that's all I say. Welcome, Brother Meechie Slay. I'm so glad to have you. Can you introduce yourself and then speak as you desire?
Okay. Well, like you so elegantly put it, I am a Meechie Slay. I've been a consumer advocate and private attorney general for quite some time now, since like the latter part of the 2000s, maybe 2011 through 14 is where I got my recognition. I was one of those who dealt with Rod Class and the research development team that we had, where we proved that, of course, the United States is a corporation. All these courts are not Article 3 courts, even the district court, all right? Because when we filed claims against the judges in D.C., the Attorney General of the United States came back and said, hey, they don't work there. All right, so we have two entities.
Okay.
Given a perception to be in one, because you have the United States, and you have the U.S., then you have the U, the dot, the S, the dot, and then you have the United States as a trust. Okay, and then you also have the United States incorporated in Delaware. Okay, so with all these entities, and you haven't even have the United States of China, the United States of Africa, the United States. You have a whole conglomerate of United States, and the majority of them are corporate entities. Okay, now when you were talking about, and I wanted to elaborate on who creates public and private.
Okay.
If anybody wants to answer that outside of yourself, Doc, please tell them to type it into the chat there. Okay, who creates public and private? There's only one entity that can create both of those dynamics. And can anybody take a guess?
Does anybody know who creates the public and private? If you do, can you put it in the chat, please?
Okay.
I don't see. Not yet.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna let that question linger. Let's talk more about public and private.
Somebody said the church. Somebody said the church.
The church. Well, that's incorrect. Not the church.
The deep state. The deep state. Somebody said.
Incorrect.
Strawman.
Nope. Incorrect.
The people.
Well, that answer was partially correct. There you go. The people.
The people.
Very good. It takes the people to go into the public, to create the public, because they're already in the private.
Wow.
What you do in the privacy of your own home is considered to be private, is it not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so when you leave out of your home and you go into the public, is that not public and private mixing continuously?
Yes.
And it does. Now, public and private continually mixes, right? Why? Because we are natural persons. We're consumers. Okay. Anything about a natural person is supposed to be private. All right, because we delegate authority to others, do we not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then. All right, so man creates the public and private. Whoever spoke on that or got that answer right, congratulations. You are very conscious in the world what's going on. Yeah, the people. All right, now I want to ask this question. How many branches of government are there? Now, this is a trick question.
How many branches of government are there, family?
Correct. And I'm just testing the knowledge of your listeners.
Okay.
Just to see where their mindset is. How many branches of government are
there? Somebody said 3. Black Coral said 3.
That's
somebody
incorrect.
says 4. Tim Brown said 4.
Very good. Now, Tim, he I should have excluded Tim because he know too damn much. Okay,
Anthony
but that's
Hood
the correct
said 4.
answer.
Okay, a couple of people saying 4, and okay,
yeah,
we thought it was 3.
That is correct. That's correct. No, it's 4 branches of government. You have to remember the government was created for the people by the people. So the people is the first branch of government. Then you have your executive. Then you have your legislature. Then you have your judicial.
Okay.
Okay, but in order for the government to function, you have to have people that's going to swear an oath to do the right thing, right?
Yes.
Or allegedly. All right, because they swear an oath.
Okay.
And the scriptures and God said, "Don't swear any oaths."
That's
correct.
Right. That's right.
Okay, so who are they swearing to? That's the thing we need to understand. Right, the adversary. Yeah, they're swearing to the adversary, and a lot of people are unaware of that. Just think about a Hippocratic oath, for instance.
Hypocrite.
You have to swear to be a hypocrite. That's what Hippocratic means. Let's break down the word Hippocratic. Just break the word down Hippocratically. Okay, what does Hippocratic mean? Okay, they'll make you believe that it's a medical term.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, but the key words in Hippocratic is hypocrisy. Is it not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if I have to be a hypocrite, then that means I'm only practicing. I'm not really in it.
Okay.
We got people that practice medicine, but that don't mean that they're really in it. You have people that practice law. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're in it. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, and so everything that we do publicly can be construed as an experimentation. Because we all know private, and in our private lives, we all enjoy the right to privacy. That's what the Privacy Act of 1974 was about. All right, people invading your privacy. You got HIPAA violations. Where you got third parties, calling your phone, your people's phone, saying, "Hey, we need to reach this person to pay a debt based on their medical history." That's a HIPAA violation. Anytime they share anything medically about you to a third party without your permission, that is a HIPAA violation. Okay, and that goes for the credit bureaus as well, because all you got to do is contact the alleged debt collector and ask them, tell them to get an itemized list of all the charges that the hospital or whoever charged you. How did they get that information without your permission? Just saying. I don't care what you signed or whatever you signed in the hospital. They must have prior express written permission to have any information about you. And if they don't have that, meaning that you didn't write out a letter or a notice stating that I give you permission to use my personal information how you see fit, then the whole agreement is null and void and unenforceable. And that's what I teach people now when I do my estate planning.
Okay.
Your body and your time are your two greatest assets. Place a monetary value on all things about you. I don't care whether it's your location information. I don't care if it's your date of birth. I don't care if it's your name or that ratchet ass social security number that we carry. Okay. You charge people for using that information. Hey, this is strictly business. It's nothing personal. It's strictly business.
Okay.
Can't nobody tell you that you cannot place a value on your personal data, or like I call it source data, or your personal identifiable information when they need it to make money.
Excuse me.
I'm just keeping it real simple. Okay, treat your personal data, treat your source data as the new gold, as currency. Start treating it as currency. When you start treating it as currency, you're going to see a huge benefit come in on your behalf, because now you know how to circumvent all your bills. Everybody, and that's what everybody want to talk about, paying bills. Well, hey, now this is 2025. Let's make these bills pay us.
Wow.
Right. You go back to that company that's billing you, and you bill them for the uses of your products, which is your name, your date of birth. Because without any of that information, there's no security interest that can be granted, nor can there be a manufacturing of any account. Okay? I'm just saying, folks. All right. So you as the creditor, you as the consumer, you as the natural person, and when I say consumer, I'm not talking about a damn parasite. I'm talking about a natural person who has to consume to sustain. In order to produce, you have to consume. Do you not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then. So if we're a nation of consumers, then that means everybody is rushing to sell their products and services over here to the consumers.
Hmm.
Everybody in the world knows we have unlimited credit, except for the people here in America.
Wait a minute,
Even
can
the
you
people that
repeat that,
what?
Attorney General?
Everybody in the world know that Americans have unlimited credit. Why do you think they be rushing to sell their goods over here?
Wow.
Why do you think Trump made China 145% tariffs, going up to 250%? Okay, if you go back to his last administration, and I want you to put this up for the people, Doc, if you can.
Okay.
Okay, it's called Essential Consumer Goods and Services Definition.
Okay.
I'm gonna say it 2 more times for the audience.
Okay.
Essential Consumer Goods and Services Definition.
Okay, I'm gonna put it up here.
Essential Consumer Goods and Services Definition. Now I do things in repetition. Okay, so if I repeat the things 3 times, that's letting me know you got it, you understand it, and you're getting ready to do your research on it. Okay, now read that, Doc. Tell me, what does essential consumer goods and services definition means? Because there's a whole definition.
Okay, this was
essential. Go ahead.
Is it okay that it says essential? Yes, sir. It says essential consumer goods or services. Is that okay, or does it need to say and services?
No, and services, right? And services, because the word or it changes the right. And services. The word or changes the whole sentence. Okay, now they, of course, if you were paying attention back in school when they were showing you what the word I, we, he, she, they, it, or what they meant and how they changed the dynamic of a sentence. Okay, but however, go ahead and read that, Doc. What is it? And tell me what does it say?
Okay, I found the one that says
and it's from the Law Insider, correct?
Yes, sir. To your point, there's one that says or services, and I found the one that says and services. Wow.
And services, right? We want the essential consumer goods and services for definition.
Okay. Essential goods and services means goods, services, or products used, bought, or rendered primarily for personal.
That's the wrong definition, Doc.
That's one. Okay, that's from the.
No, that don't say. Look at what you put in there, Doc. It don't say essential consumer goods.
Oh my goodness, you're right.
Right.
Okay.
See, that's why I said it 3 times. That's why I said it 3 times, because a lot of people, it'll go over their heads and they'll Google what you just Googled. Right. Let's be clear. Essential consumer goods and services.
And that's what I typed in, but I didn't. I guess not what I brought up.
Right. Okay, it should have came up to the Law Insider.
Okay.
Essential consumer goods and services definition.
Okay, let me go to another one. This whatever essential consumer goods, right?
Right, and services definition. Correct.
Services definition. Okay. Let's see.
Okay.
Law Insider. Okay.
Very good.
But it says or services. Hold on. Essential goods, essential consumer good. Why are they saying or services?
Okay, is that the one that's under the Law Insider?
Yes, it is.
Okay, read it off and let me see it. Let's determine.
Okay.
Because there are like you said, there are 2 definitions, right?
Yes.
Go ahead, read that one from the Law Insider.
Okay. Essential consumer goods or services means goods or services vital and necessary for the health, safety, and welfare of the public, including without limitation, food.
Stop. Wait before you go on. Okay, let's just discuss what you just said before we get into what is the consumer goods or services. What does without limitation mean, Doc?
Oh, right. Without limitation.
Okay, let's break that down. And I need people to really understand, for those listening, okay, I need you to really pay attention. All right, because I'm quite sure you all have heard of Nezra and Jezra, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, Obama enacted that back in 2009 and 10 when they apologized for slavery. Back in 2008 under HR 194, 2008, the apology for slavery. All right, they knew we were getting ready to have a black president, and they went on the limb, and the House of Representatives apologized for slavery. Okay, I want y'all to really think about that. Why did they do that prior to Obama getting into office? They already knew Obama was going to get into office. Okay, but however, okay, now when he enacted the it's called Title X 111-203, Chapter 41, which is the Consumer Protection Laws. Okay, but Title X 111-203 changed the way we live.
Okay.
It actually put an end to commerce with this definition. And Trump came in 2020 and backed it up. So Obama and Trump were working together behind the scenes, folks, if you understand what I'm saying.
I heard that. Meechie, I heard that. And that's why I will not speak bad on Obama. I heard that in 2017. Right. Yes.
Right, because Obama had to institute change, and that's changed the way we do things, like paying bills. If it's essential, you were not supposed to pay for it in the first place, and you were supposed to report to people that's telling you have to pay for these things to the Federal Trade Commission for deceptive business practices. Okay, you are a natural person. You can no longer pay to live on the earth, folks. Let me say that one more time. You are a natural person. You can no longer afford to pay to live on the earth.
Okay.
All right. All right. You have an actual exemption from commerce. Commerce is optional. It's not mandatory. It is optional. Let's understand that. The act of buying and selling is not mandatory. It is optional. Why do you say that, Meech? Well, let's finish getting into the definition. It says without limitation. Can one of your audience let me know what does without limitation stand for? What does without limitation mean?
Families, does anybody know what without limitation means? And for those just joining us, we're reading a definition of essential consumer goods or services.
Correct. From the Law Insider.
Let's see what the law. Somebody said you're on fire. Yes, Thank you. Obama was a double agent.
Well, they got infiltrated. Okay, and if you go to the backstory, Obama is technically Malcolm X's son. That's a whole nother show. No Limits. There you go, Jamie Sutton. I seen that. No Limits.
Oh my God! You know I heard that.
No Limits. Well, that's a whole other show.
Dr. Valentine says that.
Dr. Philip Valentine exposed that Obama was the son of Malcolm X. Barry Sweeto. Okay, now all the threats that Malcolm was getting, I didn't want to get into it, but I wanted to stay on topic. Okay, look, D Nice, No Limits. Okay, very good. So anybody, okay, let go ahead and finish reading this if they understand. It says no limit.
Okay.
No holds barred. Exactly. No limits. Right. Okay. Now go back to the definition, Doc, and then let's start from where it says vital and necessary and without limitation. These are the things that you are required to have. Because it says without limitation, meaning you have to have these things in order to sustain life, folks. Go ahead, Doc, finish it.
Okay. Essential consumer goods or services means goods or services vital and necessary for the health, safety, and welfare of the public, including, without limitation, no limits, food, water, fuel, gasoline, housing, shelter, transportation, healthcare goods and services, pharmaceuticals, medical supplies, and personal hygiene, sanitation, and cleaning goods.
Okay, now, Doc, you see where it says sample number 1?
Yes.
Click on sample number 1 for us, please. Okay, now,
Okay.
do you all know who who Kamala Harris's running mate was? That he was running for vice president and she was running for president. Do y'all remember him? Kamala Harris's vice president that she had picked to run with her.
Does anybody remember?
It was the governor of Minnesota. Okay. On Minnesota Route 220 and all that. It was the governor of Minnesota. Okay. The governor of Minnesota was her running mate. The governor of Minnesota was her running mate. Now, if you go to the sample and you will see, where did this document derive from?
Minnesota.
Minnesota. See, Minnesota don't hide nothing. Minnesota don't hide nothing. You just got to know where to look. You know how many people have actually flocked to Minnesota because of this very definition here? Now, if people paid attention during the pandemic, they said housing was an essential. So the moratorium for consumers was never lifted. Now, the moratorium for businesses, yeah, and residential, yeah.
Okay.
Now, when I say residential, that's still a commercial term.
Okay.
Okay. But show me where it said anything about a consumer abode. They never lifted the moratorium for the consumer's place of abode. They lifted the moratorium for business purposes, yeah, but not for the natural person. That moratorium is still on and going.
Wow.
This is the definition that's telling you that. I'm just showing you.
Should I bring it back up? I just took it off so that people can see. Put it back up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, put it back up so they can see it. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, because if Minnesota, now this definition originated from the United Nations, okay, the Consumer Protection Guidelines, United Nations Consumer Protection Guidelines of 2016. Everything that I'm saying, folks, I expect you to be Googling so you can educate yourself. Okay, I'm going to say it two more times. The United Nations Consumer Protection Guidelines of 2016. The United Nations Consumer Protection Guidelines of 2016. They knew 4 years ahead of the time that the pandemic was getting ready to drop off. They knew 4 years in advance. All right, because a lot of countries were going to start dropping the dollar, ditching the dollar. And if you've been paying attention to the countries that's been trading currencies with us, it's been zero. It's been zero for a long time. Okay, since 2019 to be exact. All right, because everybody has realized that, hey, if America has a bunch of consumers there, then consumers are not in commerce because the consumer is the creator of commerce. Without the natural person, there is no commerce. We got to be some of the dumbest species on the planet. We're one of the dumbest species on the planet because we're the only ones paying to live on it. Obama and Trump said that shit is over. It's over. All right. Based on this essential consumer goods and services definition, what happens in Minnesota has to happen in California to New York.
Okay.
It's called the adaptation rule, where this goes across the board. And now, since the United Nations have gotten involved, we can no longer pay for food, water, shelter, and housing. All those things are supposed to be added onto us. Okay, so you talking about selling a house, you're getting ready to break a consumer law because you can't sell essentials anymore. Okay, and the people that are telling you and putting a dollar amount, a fictitious dollar amount, because they're not even using the dollar symbol. That's a damn peso symbol that's in all these damn stores and on these computers and on these registers. Though that's a peso symbol. So technically, they're supposed to be paying you back an exchange rate if they're charging you in pesos. Okay, these are why these young kids already know it. They're going and smashing and grabbing. They don't care. Well, shit, if you tell me that I have to have food, water, shelter, housing without limitation, then damn it, it's free. Now you can play on your own intelligence and try to remain civil, but these young kids ain't got no morals no more.
Right.
They're forcing us to get back to nature though. All right. Soon it's gonna be a planet full of kids. They're gonna wipe the adults out. No, because think about it. You can play sounds that only your children can hear, and you can't hear the shit. And I'm talking about children under the age of 10. Or excuse me, children under the age of 13. Let's put it like that. Children under the age of 13. They can hear sounds that we cannot hear.
Wow.
They can see things that we cannot see. Look at what they're doing. Look at what they did talking about Eat the Rich. When they killed that Medicaid, what was that, an insurance executive up there in New York? These are young kids doing this.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yes.
Yeah, the purge has started. If y'all ain't paying attention, the purge has started. Right. People are tired of being governed. People are tired of being taxed. People are tired of being taken advantage of, talked to any kind of way. And you done got the money from all of us? Okay. So now this was an evening of the playing field. Okay. Nezra and Jezra was kicked off with the consumer protection laws here in America. Okay. This is why they're telling you the consumer has its own credit that it can extend in the Uniform Consumer Credit Code. I'm going to say it again. The consumer has credit that they can extend. And this is under the Uniform Consumer Credit Code. I'm going to say it one more time, Doc.
Okay.
The consumer has credit that they can extend. This is founded under the the Uniform Consumer Credit Code of 1974. Everything that I'm saying, y'all better be Googling it, because I'm going to tell you, this information is not going to be here too much longer. Y'all better take advantage of what you can take advantage of. We got the world of information at our fingertips. We got the power of all knowledge at our fingertips. Use it wisely, folks. And I'm giving you this information for free. All right, because I do believe knowledge is free. Okay, but my time ain't. My body ain't. Okay? So that's how I live my life. Okay, I can lead you to the source of information. Okay, with my fellas, y'all better get y'all selective service numbers. For those who were born after 62, make sure you have your selective service number. That's how the federal government identifies your estate as a man. All your credit comes from that number. It does not come from your social. All right, because your social security number is on file with the selective service, meaning that you transferred the minor account into the primary account, for those who understand that language. Now you have to go through the Department of Justice to take control over the minor security. I'm just saying, men, we have to go through the Department of Justice to have our estates released to us. They should have returned it back to you when you turned 26 if you signed up for selective service. It's like Robin Hood. Robin Hood went off to the war. And when they came back, he found his estate raided, right?
Yeah.
And this is what caused him to go after the sheriff, because the sheriff ordered for his estate to be raided. Okay? The same way with the federal government. They have your estates held in trust. It's called the Alien Property Custodian, which is the now Attorney General. Okay? So, if my fellas, you all get in contact with me, I will help you. I will help you get you on the right path of reclaiming your estates as men. All right. Because as long as you keep let it be held in trust, they will administrate it for you. The Social Security Administration will administrate it for you. The IRS will administrate it for you. The post office will administrate it for you. Those are the three major players over the account. The two courts that deal directly with the estate is probate and bankruptcy. And we do have you deposit a will in probate to show that you are amongst the living. Or we have you put it in the U.S. will registry, declaring the location of the will. It didn't say thy trust be done. It said thy will be done.
Wow.
See, people keep running out and creating trust, which is only an asset protector. You have to manifest your destiny through your will, folks.
See, we weren't taught that. I didn't know that.
Well, yeah, of course. Well, that's studying years of theology and understanding the laws of attraction and the laws of nature. You have to manifest what you want in your will and get that state seal on it. It's like black magic. It comes to life. Well, don't forget, you are a natural creator. As long as you got the power to create life, as long as you have the power to destroy life, as long as you can see all things around you in a 360-degree circle, and the power to tap into all knowledge, you have the same attributes as the Father or the Creator, whatever you subscribe to, or the universe.
Somebody said, can you repeat that? What do you need him to repeat, darling? I don't know what
the four attributes that we hold, that we naturally conceive, that shows and that indicates that we are natural creators. Was that what she wanted me to repeat, or they wanted me to repeat?
Let me see. Did they say anything? I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Yes, Keisha said yes.
That's okay, it. Keisha, you have the power to create life. You have the power to destroy life. You have the power to see everything around you in the 360-degree circle. And you also have the power at your fingertips to tap into all knowledge. Do you not? Mm-hmm. I'm just saying. If we have those four attributes, those are the same four attributes that our Father in heaven have, or the Creator, or the universe. Okay, so if we are one with those individuals or entities or the universe, then the universe has to provide. Whatever I put and speak, whatever I put on my canvas, it must come to life. And my canvas is my will. Like I say, your two greatest assets is your body and your time. Okay. So essentially, with the essential consumer goods and services definition, man can no longer pay for these things. And like I say, if you are being forced to pay for these things, you're supposed to reach out to your state's attorney general's office or the Federal Trade Commission for deceptive business practices. All right. Now, people are not thinking about it on this scale right here. If we go back to Maslow's theory, Maslow's theories told us the formula. Mm-hmm. Man has to consume in order to sustain. Man has to reproduce in order to sustain.
You can't self-actualize. You can't reach your maximum potential unless you have your basic needs met.
Exactly. So the basic needs are now foundational, meaning that, hey, if you're telling me I got to pay for food, I got to report you to somebody because you're either tax evading or you're utilizing deceptive business practices. Okay, this is the consumer transaction for all consumer transactions. The company must bring the bottom line at the point of sale. The company or the business must bring the bottom line cost to zero. This is consumer transaction accounting. Okay, this is for all consumer transactions for personal, family, and household only, not for business purposes. Somebody else was supposed to fund your business, and I'm going to get to that in a minute. Okay, but however, your taxation has prepaid for your housing, transportation, pharmaceuticals, and all that good stuff that was listed under the essential consumer goods and services definition. Okay, your tax dollars has already paid for those things. Okay, who bailed out? I want y'all to think about something. Who bailed out the car manufacturers back in 2009? The people. Who bailed out the banks in 2008 prior to the auto industry crashing? The people. All right, so they can't tell the people that they have to pay for something that they already prepaid for. How the hell did you get out of the bailout? And then if you paid the money back, why didn't it come directly to me?
Right.
Okay, this is what I'm saying. This is what entitles you to free transportation. The bus companies, shit, they was on the brink of destruction as well. Anything dealing with transportation, we bailed them out. Anything dealing with banking, we bailed them out. Think about the grocery stores. Did we bail them out? Anything connected to the bank, we've bailed out. Okay, folks? Now, this new thing is called a bail-in. You better get on board.
Yeah, it is.
Better have your affairs in order. Okay, when I say have your affairs in order, you've manifested your destiny. You know where you want your life to go, and you got that listed in your will on deposit at probate. Anybody know what the value of a certificate of deposit is? Anybody know what the value of a certificate of deposit is? Come on, y'all. Y'all know these terms. Come on. Somebody. Anybody but a dead body.
Anybody know? Nobody.
Yeah, electricity. Yep, that's essential, Mary. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Okay. A certificate of deposit is evidence that you have assets that can be used for investing or reinvesting. Okay.
I said $1 million.
Oh, okay. That's the value you're going to declare on your assets. You have, hey, that's your certificate of deposit. The receipt, you should sign. Yep, you should assign a value to the receipt, showing that you've declared the value of your assets held in the certificate of deposit. Don't let the bank. Right. Yeah, look at them. Look, I see them. Market value.
You can see it. Okay.
The market value is asinine. Okay. Because only man can place value on anything. A business cannot. A corporate entity or an artificial person cannot. Only man can declare the value of things. Let's not get it twisted, y'all. Whatever the market value is. No, y'all keep saying the market value. The market value relies on man. What was the first thing sold on the stock market? The black man.
Not just
the
man,
black man
was
the first. The black man was the first thing sold and traded on the stock market. Y'all don't know what the price of melanin is today? $711 per gram. Man, y'all better wake up and smell the damn coffee. They've been taking people's organs. God rest Sandra Bland and Kanika Jenkins. Come on, man. They've been selling our organs to these people because melanin is valuable. It costs more than gold.
Yeah.
And Google, don't take my word for it. Google it. What is the price of melanin? It's going to tell you anywhere between $511 a gram on up until $1,000 a gram. Depending on what source you choose to lose.
Sorry, let me
right. So this is why I tell people, and this is why I teach my my clients who allow me to do their estate planning, hey, you have to put a monetary value on your body and time. So that way you can start borrowing against your value. Long as you have that certificate of deposit and a trust account set up, man, can't nobody tell you you can't borrow against yourself. People bet on themselves all the time. Michael Jordan, Pete Rose, Wayne Gretzky. Come on, man. You can. Tina Turner put $2 million on her legs. What makes you think you can't put a monetary value on your body if the insurance companies can do it? Come on, y'all. Y'all ain't hearing me. Y'all definitely ain't hearing me. Right.
You teach
Okay,
it.
now, Victoria. Now, you said infinite. Victoria, be careful now because you have to exalt self-control. So you have to put a limit on it. Did y'all hear what I said? In commerce, yeah, you have to exalt self-control. Okay? Now, granted, I use that for a safety net, all right? Because if everybody realized that they were unlimited in value, who would go to work? Who would sell you your goods and services that's been, holding up our economy? I'm just saying, folks. Everybody's birth certificate here is sitting on the stock exchange because your state under the escheat, 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 escheat. Right. They all have property that they have to hold until the rightful owners come and get it. So they invest that property into the stock market. Every state is listed on the stock market. Now, your job is to go find where your state is listed at on the stock market and what's their stock ticker. All right, because you're going to be able to uncover a whole lot of stuff. A lot of bonds that have matured in your name for those that are 26 or better. Some that are 18 years and better. I mean, you've been creating security interests and bonds for a very long time, folks. Okay, but however, essentially, like I was saying, we can no longer pay for those things. And we have to take action. That's why I've become a consumer advocate. All right, because the private attorney general, don't get me wrong, I had to go to Congress. I had to stand in front of Congress and let them know why I wanted to take this position. Okay, but now that I realize that, hey, with the consumer advocacy, I don't even have to go to Congress. I don't have to go to nobody. I can educate people on consumer law. Long as I got over 100,000 hours in education on consumer law, I can educate anybody on consumer law. And that's what I've done. I've been studying consumer law since 2010, when people didn't even know what consumer protections were. Okay? And Obama strengthened them, and so did Trump, especially with the truth in lending, where you are issuing credit to all individuals that you do business with. Okay, what was that? Your Andreas Johansson. What do you? That says, how do you look that up? Where do I look? Okay, what were you talking about? Okay, $500 per gram. Good, Sharon. I see you on it. And now look at what's the most, though, Sharon. That's just the surface. The most I've seen it has been at $1,000. So if you multiply, I want you to break it down, Sharon. Okay, since you say $500 per gram. Now I want you to take your weight and I want you to break your weight down by grams and then multiply all the total grams that you come up with by 500. That will be your value that we're going to put in your will. They telling you melanin it has a monetary value, right? Sharon, I'm just saying. It says, do you have a YouTube channel? No, beloved, I gave my YouTube channel up. I only do this on special occasions now. Now, I do have a following on Facebook, Meechie Slay on Facebook. You can send me a private message if you need any estate planning services. But, that's all I've been doing now is waking people up to the consumer protection laws and doing their estate, getting their affairs in order for this sovereign wealth fund that Trump has kicked off. If you have your affairs in order, they're going to have to fund your trust account because that's an obligation of the United States now. And it always has been. The United States has always been obligated to fund your businesses, to fund your trusts. Okay, but we don't know what to do with the EIN number. People want to keep using the EIN number as a means of identification. No, it's an exemption identification number. They'll call it an employer identification number, but it's technically an exemption identification number. If you look at the top of your EIN number, it has all those nines going across the top. That's the balance. And people don't even pay that no attention. So what you're supposed to do is send that back into the IRS with your routing account number and bank account number. And you let them know this is an obligation of the United States. So the United States can fund your business, not you per se. I weigh 160 pounds. Go ahead, Black Dove. 386,200. There you go. There you go. You are worth your weight in gold. You see what I'm saying? Look, she did the math. Look, Black Dove. Good job. So where do you look up your birth certificate worth and how do you get it? Well, I don't go by that. I call the birth certificate a certificated security. Okay. And it is very valuable in my opinion. Okay. Now you will have some people that say it holds no value, but the damn bank need the name off of it in order to create an account. So how doesn't it hold any value when other people need the information off of it to make money? So, you can try to use the Treasury, bond calculator if it'll come up and show you anything. That's what I've been learning. A lot of people have been using the Treasury bond calculator and they've been putting the numbers in to see how much the bond is actually worth. All right. Trump also did a executive order on savings bonds. Go read that because he's telling you how to cash in the birth certificate. That's worth $27 billion. B with a billion with a B. Okay. And this is the executive order in savings bonds that he did in his last administration. There was a lot of things that Trump did in his last administration that went over people's heads, like the 1776 Commission. He was trying to bring back the republic back then. We have a constitutional republic. Democracy has no place here in our country any longer. Those who democratized the shit was loyal to Great Britain and England. Members of the ABA, American Banking Association, and the American Bar Association, all the lawyers, judges, and bankers are going to have to get the hell out of this country sooner or later. You see what they're doing with the lawyers right now? They've been deporting lawyers because they're a part of the Foreign Bar Association. I got a case right now in the federal court where I demanded to see the attorney's foreign agent registration agreement. And if he's not registered under the foreign agent registration agreement, the Department of Justice is going to have a field day with his ass. This is why he got scared and asked the judge for oral arguments. No, sir, she denied that already. She already denied the oral arguments because I demanded oral arguments and she denied mine. There's a writ of mandamus, and this case against PNC is worth billions. I'm not playing with them. When I signed my signature card at PNC, and I'm gonna go on the record and tell you this. Hey, when I signed my signature card at PNC, I assessed $100 billion value to my signature. PNC accepted it. PNC accepted it.
Wow.
PNC accepted it and created not one trust account, but two trust accounts. Oh yeah, and that's in the federal court right now because I did an arbitration for breach of contract, And the judge didn't understand what source data was. Now, I use terms that I know that they're not going to recognize. All right. And this is going to put me in a better position because I can show that you're incompetent. I was like, how does a judge over 40 years as a judge doesn't know what source data is? I was like, what do you think you've been relying on to judge these cases? Source data. Don't you ask people for their names when they present themselves in front of you? That's source data. I'm just saying, if the courts used your source data, folks, that's private property being taken for public use without just compensation because they got paid federal funds at some point when they took that name. Got to remember, your name was registered and secured, copywritten, trademarked, and patented. Meaning, yeah, you can sell your information in exchange for goods and services. That's what you've been doing all your life. You just ain't been putting no monetary value on it. Think about if your employer needs the same information that the bank need, that the car dealership need, that the landlord and realtors need, that shit has to be extremely valuable if all these entities need it to make money. Just want y'all to think about that for a second. Right. And I'm keeping it simple. Do they have any questions, Doc?
Family wants to know how the family here wants to know how can they possibly get a consultation with you?
Well, you can reach out to me if you don't have Facebook. I will I will put my number out there for those who are interested in learning more.
Or your email address.
My email address is meechieslay@gmail.com. Or you can reach me at area code 434-270-1987. Again, that's 434-270-1987.
270. Hold on, 1987. I'm writing it down.
Right, area code 434.
Okay, 270. Okay, got it.
And if you add up all the numbers, it's divine intervention. So,
all right.
Okay, but however, folks, the times are changing. We are moving into a new heaven and a new earth. Okay, where people are their minds are becoming more consciously aware of these contracts that we've signed, and people are starting to sit back and read these contracts that they've got into. This is the fastest way to get out of a contract. Okay, the fastest way to get out of a contract is you write a notice of unconscionability. Okay, a notice of unconscionability or unconscionability notice. An unconscionable contract has no enforcement. So if you were not afforded to bring any terms and conditions in that agreement, you can say it's null and void and unenforceable, and you cancel it. Okay, if you didn't make any terms and conditions in your housing, if you didn't make any terms and conditions in your credit card or your banking, that was deceptive business practices on the behalf of who? The company. All right, because especially if they had a fiduciary duty, like the bank was required by law under the Fifth Amendment takings clause, because that's an undertaking. They were required by law to ask you for the value of your name. Well, he said number 9, divine. All right, Mello. All right, Mello. Okay, so my thing is we have to be conscious and aware. Kanye West said it the best. Cancel that contract. Cancel culture. Shit.
Cancel culture.
Hell yeah, you cancel it. And you say, hey, I'm going to cancel it for deceptive business practices because I didn't make any terms and conditions. Now, you can return the security interest. I cancel the loan, return the security interest in 21 days. They got to send you the title for the car. They got to send you the deed for the house. Because you gave an interest to somebody without full disclosure.
Mm.
Now, when you get into your mortgage contracts, you will see you brought something dead alive. Because we all know a mortgage is a dead pledge, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, stop pledging your shit. I don't pledge nothing.
Mm.
Equity does not come to the aid of the volunteer. You put a monetary value on it, so they can't say, "Oh, they volunteered it," and that's what PNC kept trying to say, that they didn't accept that type of language on the signature card. So I was like, "Are you trying to negate the fact of my terms and conditions?" They went dead silent after that. Are you saying you tell me I don't have a right to a contract? You mean to tell me I don't have a right to place value on my property before I let you use it? I was like, bullshit. And I said it just like that. Bullshit. Prove that. Because that violates the Fifth Amendment takings clause, sir. Their lawyers are scratching their head because I'm hitting them with simple, plain written writing.
Mm.
And they're trying to use all these legalese and case laws. If they ever try to use case law against you, you object to the case law if you're going to play in the court arena. All right, because I know a lot of people that don't even play in the courts.
Mm-hmm.
They send their notices off to get the shit removed off the record because the judge, the prosecutor, never had prior express written permission to have your information. They got it from a third party called a police officer.
Mm.
That's illegal debt collection, and everybody can get strung up. I'm just saying, we have the power to change our form of government at our leisure, folks. Meaning we can take these people out of office kicking and screaming.
Mm.
And the sheriff can't do shit about it. The highway patrol can't do shit about it. Nor the police. None of them do shit about it. It's called the Declaration of Independence, and that is something I create in your estate planning.
Mm.
We're not false flagging over here. We're making things happen. And if you understood the words that are coming out of my mouth today, and you see fit that you want to join this movement of declaring your independence from the state, you got my information. Period.
Mm.
We're not playing with these people no more.
Mm.
And they know, they know I sacrificed myself in a heartbeat for the freedom of my people. And that's all people.
All people. I love it.
Because I know all types of people. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but my thing is, right now, we need Black Wall Street back. Well, no, I don't say that to be racist. I don't say that to be hateful to any other race or anything like that. I am a racist. Don't get me wrong. And when I say racist, I have love for my people. That's what the definition of the term racist means. One who has love for their people. Don't let them change the dynamic and get you out of your mind and have you thinking delusional. Okay? I got love for all people, but specifically, I got greater love for my people. All right? Because my people will perish due to a lack of knowledge.
We are
People don't
perishing.
die.
Shoot.
People don't die to a lack of food, water, or shelter. They die due to a lack of knowledge, folks.
But you help everybody, correct? Because you can love just because you love your people, not at the expense of other people. And I think it's like everybody that I know is from all over the world. They love their people. They support their community. The dollar doesn't leave their hands of their community, and it's okay. You have Chinatown, you have, different areas of town.
Correct. Oh yeah.
I'm in Cuban town right now, right here in Jacksonville, where a lot of Cubans live. They support each other, do business with each other, but I don't think they hate me. They don't. They love me. They take care of me, but they take care of each other first. You better believe that.
Right. Yep. 210 Giselle B. She hit whoever that is, hit it right on the nose. It says, "Be confirmed by the renewing of your mind." Beloved, that hits so hard. That hits so hard. I hope people paid attention to what she's saying. All right, because that's what's happening. It's a renewal of our mind. Like I said, this ain't the same earth we was back 10 years ago. The world has changed to a fashion to where personal, family, and household is the new trinity. Anything outside of your personal family or household is irrelevant.
Mm, mm.
That's the
Thank you
new
so much.
trinity.
The new person, family, and community.
Personal, family, and household.
Household.
PFH.
Personal,
Personal,
family.
family, and household.
Thank you, A Cook, for the blessing for the super sticker of $2. We appreciate you. A Cook wants to know, what is your position right now, sir?
As far as what and how I'm helping folks, or the title that I carry. That's a broad statement, sir. Be more specific, and I got the answer for you. Hopefully,
Mary wants to know,
well,
do you recommend getting off the voting register?
okay, yes and no. Okay, let me ask you. Answer your question with a question. Okay, Maurice, if you're calling me, I got you. Maurice Fuller out of Nevada. Thank you. I got you. Okay, so let me ask you a question. Okay, now if you are delegating authority for people to make decisions on your behalf, would that make you a debtor or a creditor of the United States? Let me say it again. Does that make you, having a voter registration card, does that make you a creditor or a debtor of the United States?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it makes you a creditor because only shareholders of a corporation can vote. So look at yourself as a shareholder of the United States, right? Because you got dual nationalities that you can play. And there's always two sides to the coin, public and private, right?
Right.
So if you're delegating your authority to a representative calling himself a senator or a congressman, right? And they're representing you on a global scale, are you a creditor or a debtor of the United States?
Hmm.
And when you realize that answer to that question, very good, Chief. Very good, Chief. Right. That makes you a creditor because only, like I say, shareholders of a corporation and investors of a corporation can vote for it. I'm just saying. Yep, to the digital blockchain. Right. Yep, that's true. That's true. Be nice. That's true. You know, I can't dispute that. It's going to the blockchain. Okay, but see, I got to understand in the blockchain, you got your own enforcement with your smart contracts and things of that nature. I'm hip to the blockchain. I've been studying it like crazy since I've been finding out about it, and it's fascinating. It's been blowing my mind away. When you could buy digital land and everything, like I was tripping. Yes, agree to remove myself from the voting register. Okay, well, Mary, okay, that's your choice and your decision. Okay, what's in your will to do? That's your willpower, okay? It takes your willpower to create a trust. It takes your willpower to make things happen. Okay, so if that's in your will to do, Mary, then you need to incorporate that in your will and make sure your will is on registry with the U.S. Will Registry, so everybody in the world will know you have your own administration. See, this is how we declare our independence, folks, by depositing a will with probate. Okay, for safekeeping purposes only. That's it. And when I say safekeeping, the word safekeeping has a vast meaning. And when I say vast meaning, yes, private property is being held for public use where you have to be justly compensated. Anything about the consumer is private. XRP. Mm-hmm. Well, I want you to think about it. Your personal information is the new currency, folks. Y'all don't have to worry about XRP. Y'all don't have to worry about Bitcoin because even those things needed your personal information. I'm just saying, you are the crypto here in America because you've been bartering and exchanging your personal information in exchange for goods and services all your life. All your life. No problem, Michelle. Yeah. It says by paying tax. It says by paying taxes. Hold on, let me see. We're debtors. No, that's not true. Okay, and all that money by having Social Security number, they're supposed to pay the benefit when we retire. Okay, well, let me ask you something, David. Okay, if you're paying taxes and that tax money is going to the roads and to the schools and to other parts of our infrastructure, that makes you a creditor of the United States under Title 18, Section 219, if I'm not mistaken, where people cannot claim to be a creditor of the United States. An American taxpayer is always a creditor of the United States. It's not a debtor. Meaning that you footed the bill. Now, we've paid the world's debt over tenfold, y'all. Y'all got to understand. Look how much aid we send out to other countries. All right, because as sovereign individuals, as sovereign families with sovereign households, okay, like I say, we're the only ones that don't believe that we're wealthy because we don't see it in hand. But that family name, your family name has a fucking copyright or trademark on it and a copyright. If you have a family crest, I'm just saying, folks, that name has been trademarked for generations. Can't nobody just use your name without your prior express written permission? That's identity theft. Just saying. Your name has protections. The name has protection. Everything has to have a name, right? Financially owning property, retrieving your worth, utilizing the money that you were able to retrieve. Okay, very good, A Cook.
Thank you, A Cook.
Okay. Yeah, because you do put into the system energy. So, and what comes out of that energy that you've put into the system is what? A currency, right? I'm just saying. We all know that our currency is not backed by gold or silver. It's backed on what? The goods and services in the system, which is you included. Right. Okay, you can buy all the gold and silver you want. Okay, but your information is equivalent to those things now. I can use my information to invest in gold.
Wow.
Can you not? You can too, Doc. We all can. Because here in America, your personal information is equivalent to gold. It's equivalent to silver. It's equivalent to credit. It's equivalent to cash. Okay, don't take my word for it. Look at what Forbes magazine said about personal information being the new currency. Y'all look that up and do your research. All right, because it started back in October 27th, 1977, when legal tender was no longer required for the payment of debt. I'm going to say that one more time. October 27th, 1977. The late Jimmy Carter, who just passed away not too long ago, held a press conference on national television. Or what? I think it was the State of the Union address, where he said legal tender was no longer required for the payment of debt because there were not enough promises to pay in the system. Your personal identifying information and signature was the means of collateral for everything. It's been like that since the early 30s. Anybody used to watch Popeye back in the day? I'm quite sure we had. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Popeye had a peon on there called Wimpy. Okay. Everybody remember who Wimpy was? Okay, and Wimpy was like, I kindly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today.
Today,
What was
yes.
Wimpy doing? What was Wimpy doing? I want y'all to think about it. Wimpy was extending credit. I kindly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. Well, oh Mello, you are worth your weight in gold. They hid the gold in your birth certificates. Okay, let's not forget that. You are worth your weight in gold. That's why melanin is almost at between $500 and $1,000 a gram. Okay. But yeah, Wimpy was issuing credit by saying, hey, I'll kindly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. Okay, a lot of that people, we didn't catch that when we were kids. We were just thinking Wimpy was greedy and he didn't have no money to pay for it, so he was just being greedy. But as I got older and I went back and watched what Wimpy was doing, Wimpy was actually issuing credit, right? Signature in all capital letters? Nah, I wouldn't advise you to do that because a natural person doesn't sign their name like that. A sign of nature. That's what a signature is. A sign of nature. Signature. Break it down. Sign of nature is signature. Nothing just happens. No, it doesn't. You have to make it happen, right, Meechie? Right. Nothing just happens. Right.
Here's an important statement. Go ahead. I want to say something after you.
Go ahead, Doc. Go ahead. You got it.
Delphine Wilson asked this question. I thought it was important because I wondered the same thing. She says, I don't understand. I have an irrevocable trust. I don't understand why I need a will. The trust pays for everything.
Okay, very good. Okay, but see, let me ask you something, Delphine. Can you manifest your destiny through a trust? No, you can't. Because a trust is only meant to protect assets. What about the next 30 years of your life? What do you want for yourself? That's what the power of a will is for. It didn't say thy trust be done. It says thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. All right, meaning that you have to write out your will in order for you to have your heaven here on the earth. Okay, so your willpower is what created the damn trust in the first place, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, but if you didn't put no actions about your will, then you're moving what? You're moving what? With a double mind. A will and a trust go hand in hand, folks. Okay. The will is more powerful than the trust. All right, because the trust protects the estate's assets. Okay. For my men, you have estates. For my females, you have dowries. Okay. Females don't have estates. Okay. And here's the reason why. Okay. Irrevocably. All right. Now you can't change that unless you go to a court. Now, what happens when we get back under the gold standard? Or what happens when they say we're going to cancel all currency? Is your irrevocable trust going to be able to conform with that? I'm just saying, I would never do an irrevocable trust. Okay, because I want my trust to change with the times. If it's going to protect my beneficiaries, it will always be revocable.
I wondered about that.
Now, the only thing I'm going to do that's going to be irrevocable is my will. That's the only thing that's going to be irrevocable. Because once you transition over, okay, what happens? Your will becomes irrevocable. Right. You can change the will is revocable during your life. But see, this is why I help people set up a life estate. Okay, it's a life estate, will, and trust, and they go hand in hand. And you're the consumer. So it's a consumer life estate and trust where you could take the property out of commerce and the property does not have to be a part of commerce. Neither do you. All right, because you can control commerce from the consumer life estate and trust. Okay, it's based upon what you want, what's in your will to do. I don't go by the legal definitions of the term life estate. Okay, even though a life estate makes you the life tenant and you actually get to enjoy the property during your life. Okay, meaning that I can put a monetary value on anything in life that I got. If I choose to put a monetary value on it, because I can have it removed out of commerce based on what? The trust. The Consumer Life Estate Trust. It's a consumer trust. So the consumer has an optional, commerce is optional for the consumer. Okay. All your assets will be listed on your Schedule A, like it's normally done in your will. And we take that Schedule A and attach it to your trust and have all that property registered to the trust. You will be responsible for writing out the next 30 years of your life and what you want for your life. And we put it on deposit with the trust.
Oh, somebody said,
goes hand in hand. Go ahead.
Thank you. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No
problem. Can you explain why women have a dowry and not an estate? Thank you so much, Sin. I was wondering the same thing.
Okay, very good. Okay, now who said that?
Sin? Yes, Sin
okay.
Solar.
Okay, Sin, let me ask you something, Sin. Okay, Sin, you were given a name, correct? Just say yes or no. Yes, okay, very good. You was given a name. Okay. Now, you were given a first and a last name. Your last name either came from one of your forefathers. Okay? Because only men carry the last name of their fathers or mothers, or their mother's father, I should say. Okay? Unless you created a name for yourself, Sin, then you are considered to be property of your father.
That's true.
Or your husband or your siblings. Okay? Yeah, your biological property, beloved. Okay, this is how it worked. Dad dropped the deposit off into mother. The deposit accrued interest for 9 months. And after that 9 months of accrued interest, there was a discharge. Who does the property belong to, mama or daddy? If daddy was the depositor. Right. This is why your father has to give you away to your husband. That's a transfer of property. And not only that, if you decide that you don't want to be with your husband no more, you can lose his last name and go back to your maiden name, right?
Yes.
So what names do females own, period? Only the ones that they create. Now, if you say, hey, I'm going to take on my own persona, okay, but that would be disrespectful to your father if you don't carry his family name. See, we got to stop thinking that slavery, that these names came out of slavery. No. Our names derived way back in royalty. Okay, before any other race of people were even in existence. I'm just saying. So our names and our last names are not slave names. They preceded slavery. They came out of royalty. I'm just saying. Okay?
That's why it's important for women to be honest about who the child belongs to.
Of course, because that's a prime example of what I'm saying. I done seen people actually scribble out the last name and put another last name on the birth certificate, send it back to Vital Records, and Vital Records updated the birth certificate. I'm dead serious, and they was doing this back in the 50s. Right? Because my grandchild, he was born in 58, and he got 2 names. Went into the military under one and had children under the other.
What's the other? I didn't hear. I didn't hear.
And he had children under the other. He had 2 names.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah. So, but that's how you understand that. Okay, we are all property of someone else. Okay, whether it's our mother and father, or whether it's our brothers and sisters, or whether it's our children. All those people I mentioned have an interest in your body.
But Meechie, we were always taught that the line goes through the woman, the property goes through the woman.
Impossible. Your lineage always goes through your father. How did you get here? How did you get here? How did the woman get here?
Okay.
I'm just saying. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to sound misogynistic or be a male chauvinist. I love my sisters. I love women. Period. Okay. Period. Okay. But we have to understand how nature works, y'all.
You explained it. The depositor is the one that owns.
Correct. Okay. So when I have to give my daughter away because I made a deposit into her mother, that's my property. And that's what I tell my children. And that's how I teach my children. You my property. So you can't get my pussy away. You can't get my dick away until I say y'all can.
I know that's right.
Okay. No, that's just being a parent. That's just being a parent. Who wants a 19-year-old, 20-year-old daughter and she's already been ran through? Hell no.
That's exactly right. That's what my sons say, and people get angry about it. But I told my son, especially my eldest son, stick to your gun. I was a virgin when I married their father. They should do that. They should desire the same thing.
Exactly. Okay, but see, the society say, hey, it's okay to go ahead and out here have sex. Even in the schools, they're teaching the kids how to have sex, right?
Yes,
because we can't watch our kids 24/7. So we cannot control what our children do. I don't give a fuck how old they is. You can't control what they do.
Hold on 1 minute. Come on in, dear. Hold on 1 minute. It's time for me to go. I got visitors coming in. Come on. So can we wrap it up? Can you wrap it up? Give us your final words. I'm sorry, but I didn't.
Sure. Not a problem. Not a problem. Okay. All right. Well, just a small recap, folks, and I'm going to keep it very short. Always remember your personal, your family, and your household. That's the new Trinity. Anything outside of that is irrelevant. Okay. Number 2, always place value on your personal information before giving it away. Remember, if they need something from you to make money, you have every right and you are obligated to add the value of yourself in any and all transactions, even at the point of sale. Okay. Number 3, the people who are telling you that you have to pay for things are liars. Okay. Especially for things that are essential and that sustains life. Okay. We will report them to the Federal Trade Commission and other entities for deceptive business practices. Okay. My name is Meechie Slay. If you all have my number, you have my email address. If you like any estate planning done, reach out to me personally and privately. I do things on a first come, first served basis, and I move on your time.
Hold on, somebody want to know what the fuck that he came from my issue with women in this new era is we don't respect men. We don't trust nothing they say. We want everything to be matriarchal. We want to uplift the woman and do away with the man. And that is my personal vendetta with the woman in society, and particularly the so-called Black woman. You all hate men so much that it disturbs my soul.
Well, they have to understand, because they've been brainwashed into believing something else. When a man and a woman comes together, they create a family. It is the mother, the father, and the son. Okay? The man is always the head of the household. Always. And you fellas better become the heads of your household, because if you don't, then the women will be doing it for you.
The man provides structure, discipline, and order. You don't believe me? Look at how women are running rush hour right now, and the children are all going crazy.
Correct. Right.
And I don't mean to be upset. I don't mean to be upset. Excuse me. And I don't want to overtalk you. I just
no, you're fine.
I don't like the concept of feminism and how it's destroyed our minds. We literally hate our men, and particularly in the Black community. I've never seen so many people despise their own man like the Black woman. Anytime a man says, go ahead, anything about structure or anything about order or ownership, a woman gets upset, and that bothers me.
Okay, now real talk, real life with Mina. Okay, how is that blasphemous? Okay, because your father had to impregnate your mother in order for you to be here today. So how is that blasphemous? Because I don't look at God as the Black woman or man. We all have God inside of us, because we all can create, destroy, see everything around us, and have the power to tap into all knowledge.
Yes, sir.
So I'm trying to figure out what was blasphemous. That's what I just asked. That's what I wanted to know. She said it was blasphemous.
Maybe because you said that the depositor owns the child. And I would say,
oh yeah. How else did the child get there? Well, the sperm had to travel, had to do some traveling. The sperm was mighty powerful to make it do all that. No, don't get me wrong. The eggs are equally valuable. Okay, but if you ain't having sex with no man, then how can you reproduce? I'm just keeping it real simple. Now, granted, I understand women used to impregnate themselves back in the day in the Ottoman Empire, but they can't physically do it today. Why? Why did that change? Or did it change? Or did it change? Okay. But they can never dispute the fact that a man had to stick his penis in the side of a woman in order to have a body. They had to insert something into it in order for life to be reproduced. Now, I don't believe in all them spookisms now. I need cold hard facts. And I understand andromachrone and all that. Don't get me wrong. That and the things that are inside of a female. Okay, I'm not clueless to that. Okay, and I respect all of those things. Okay, but your father has the same thing too. That's where that's where all the lineages trace back through your father. Now you can trace your lineage back to your mother, but that's gonna lead back to her father. I'm just saying, ladies, like I said, I'm not trying to be misogynistic or male chauvinistic, but we have to honor our mothers and fathers, folks, because we have to coexist. Anything outside of coexistence is what? Uncivilized. Period.
They want to know your Facebook. Excuse me, I'm going to show it to you guys.
Yes, Meechie Slay at Facebook.
Okay.
On Facebook. I do have a lot of good information on there. I have letters or notices that you can send to your credit card companies for your credit card companies to pay the charges that you've charged, because they're the third party between you and the bank.
Okay.
Yep, Meechie Slay at Facebook. Meechie Slay at all socials, except Instagram and Twitter. I'm not on those.
And your email?
MeechieSlay@gmail.com.
And your phone number one more time.
Area code 434-270-1987.
I want to say this, that we have a lot of talk now about the divine feminine energy and, returning back to the matriarchy. And, we as a woman, we love hearing that. I love hearing it too. But
I do too. As a man, I like hearing the empowerment of my sisters. Yeah.
I just know that you need both energies. You need, since I know the divine feminine, not feminism, but divine feminine energies are flooding the planet in order to add balance. That's not to usurp authority from the man. That's not to kick the man out of anywhere. It's to add balance. We're going to work together. And see, a lot of these households are headed by women only, and women that hate men, or women that have a vitriol emotion against men, or maybe they've been mistreated by men. And so when you only have feminine energy and angry feminine energy controlling the home and the community, well, that trickles down to the children. But we need both. We need both. And let me say this, in the Black family, that's what's missing. That's why we have no generational wealth. We don't have any more marriages.
Absolutely.
Everybody else has generational wealth except for us. And then we get mad when we talk about the masculine energy, the men depositing, so the men own the children. But yet you'll ask your daddy to give you away at a wedding. But yet you'll take the man's last name. Oh, you don't own me. You don't control me. I'm not submitting to you, but you'll submit to his last name.
Not only that, you go submit to them finances that he bringing to the table too.
You sure will. And then you're going to try to submit to them finances when if you divorce him. You're going to try to take all. So
correct. Yeah, marriage don't benefit men. We know that.
Doesn't.
Okay.
Marriage does not benefit men.
But however, a man is supposed to take care of his family. I don't give a fuck what go on. You're supposed to take care of your wife. You're supposed to take care of your children. You're supposed to protect the house.
Real talk, we're going to put you on timeout because I don't like your energy.
Well, no. She has a right to voice her opinion, Doc.
Okay.
She has a right to that. And that it does not move us in any shape, fashion, or form. She has to educate herself on where the lineage goes. She says it goes to her mother. Go chase your mother's lineage and see how far you go, honey. I promise you, it's gonna be some men involved. All right, just go do your own research. We're not gonna argue with you. We love you, okay, and you have a right to your opinion. All right, that's a part of our God-given rights.
That's
okay, true. But go check the facts, honey. Don't lean under your own understanding. Go check the facts. Go check and see who your mama's daddy was, and go see who your mama's mama was. You should know those things already. In order for your mama to get here, you had to have a grandmother and a grandfather. I can't see your grandma laying up there having sex by herself, getting pregnant. No, come on now, that don't even make sense for real. But however, like I said, it used to be done where women had the power to reproduce by themselves.
Parthenogenesis.
Correct. You got sperm in your bone marrow, right? And men, guess what we got? We have XX and XY chromosomes. Oh, how you think we able to create little girls?
True.
And boys. I'm just saying. We're all feminine at one point. Okay, yes. But some of us who fought to be men, to keep reproduction alive. Come on now. You those men have to have a mindset in the womb. Which made a determination. Do I want to be female or male? Now, we can't dispute the fact because I got nipples just on my body just like a female does. That's my indication that we were all female at one point.
Yes, we were.
But however, when I chose to become male, then that comes with everything that the male has.
Okay, let me calm down. You guys are right. So Real Talk says, she don't want to fall out with me. She said, let's talk finances. Let's do it. Let's talk finances. Okay. Here's the median household. Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Meechie.
Okay. Females were never supposed to get in commerce, all right? Because a female can put herself in a contract and that contract has to be consummated. Okay? Meaning that sexual intercourse is commerce. So all the contracts that you females then got into, you had to consummate with that entity, whether you knew it or not, because you gave them something. You gave them something more valuable than the twat that you sit on and don't realize it. This is why they ask you when you buy a house, are you married? Because only the man was supposed to control the financial sector. The female was supposed to be the nurturer, the hunter, the gatherer. I'm just saying, that's what the female lion does. While the male sits back and take care of the kids and discipline the kids, the mama out there hunting. And if she needs help, she's gonna roar out to the male lion, and he's gonna come help her. Same way with the queen on the chessboard. Same way with the queen on the chessboard. The queen is the most powerfulest piece on the chessboard, but the most important piece is the king, because the queen could be sacrificed to save the game, or to win the game, or to save the king by any means necessary. Okay, so we have to get back to nature, folks. And our people was the one who came up with chess. That was one of the world's first games known to man, chess. That's how they used to do battle back in the day. They used to play on the chessboard, and then they used to go out and conquer. I'm just saying, I'm not taking nothing away from our females.
No,
all right, you are equally valuable. You're equally valuable. Like I said, we have to coexist. Okay, but don't let that Lilith mindset come in, because that's what a lot of females are under, that Lilith mindset, which was Adam's first wife, for those who didn't know. Adam had 2 wives.
Sure did.
Lilith and Eve. And they both defied the man and God. So now that's telling you something. What's wrong with the feminine energy to where they can't get along with the masculine energy? Well, any one of you females want to deal with a feminine man?
No.
Okay, then. So stop being fucking masculine. Then put your dicks up.
Glory.
And bask in your femininity. Bask in your femininity. You make the man open up the door. You stand by the door and look stupid. Shit, hey, we're gonna stand out here until you open the door. That's how females back in the day. I don't like using the term women, because the term woman has never been legally defined. Ketanji Jackson said that. Okay, that's the sister from the Supreme Court Justice, the new black sister from the Supreme Court Justice. She says, I can't identify it with the term woman because it has never been legally defined.
Well,
all right, because man has his counterpart. Because man creates what man has 2 species, male and female. All right. So if male and female creates man, then what the hell creates one man? The female already got her male counterpart.
We sure do.
So who is the counterpart for the woman? A transvestite? I'm just saying.
Brother Meechie, can we look? Go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. I only have one more minute. They want to know if we can do a part 2.
Sure.
Also, I want good. So I'm gonna talk to Meechie, and let's look at this. Let's look at this right quick, Brother Meechie. Median household income. Indian Americans here in America make $100,000. The household, $100,500. Filipino Americans, $83,000 is what they bring home. The Taiwanese, $82,500. Sri Lankan Americans, $74,600. Japanese Americans, $72,300. Malaysian Americans, $70,300. The combined household income. Chinese Americans, $69,000. Pakistani Americans, $66,000. White Americans, they're not even at the top. $59,000 household income. Korean Americans, $59,200. Indonesians, $57,500. The average Americans, for all the women that want a man that's 6 figures, 6 foot inches of a penis, and 6 feet tall, the average American household is only $56,200. Okay, all of us saying, if he don't make 6 figures, I don't want him. All the way down at the bottom, African Americans, $35,000 average household income. And the number one reason I say is because we don't have a marriage culture any longer. We have So much confusion going on in our community. Our household is divided. We got argument between who's right, who's the head, the man or the woman, who does the line come through, the man or the, so much argument. Even if we don't agree, why not just agree to disagree? But why do we have to be contentious?
Right.
This is
Well,
no
I get that.
generational wealth.
Well, see, the thing is with that though, Doc, let's go back to when the stock market created. What was the first thing sold on the stock market? This is why we're at the bottom of the totem pole. All right, because of our value and our worth. I just showed y'all, like I said, the price of melanin. There's a price tag for your every gram of skin you got. For every gram on your body, there's a dollar amount assessed to it. How is that possible? How are we the lowest man on the totem pole? Okay, because we let people take over our minds, our wills, and our emotions. We got to stop doing that as divine intervention steps in. I'm just saying, folks, don't let nobody control your mind, your will, or emotions, man.
Yeah.
Because if they can control that, they can control you.
You're right.
And I'm gonna land my plane on that part. I love you all. You all can reach out to me. We can talk privately. I'll show you a lot of research that I've done over the last 25 years, so you can see where I stand.
Yeah.
I don't try to be delusional, okay? But however, I study facts, and when people speak facts, people that didn't know those facts and relied on their opinions the opinions of others, they get discombobulated. And we have to stop treating each other like that. Like I say, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Okay, but facts are facts. Facts are not opinions. Facts and the truth go hand in hand to me. I don't know about anybody else, but that's the position I stand on that. And I thank you for having me on, Doc. You know, I felt that it was needed. You know, so I'm here when you want to do part 2. And we
got to do part 2, and I'll try to. I will try to keep my emotions in check. I'm really passionate about family. My whole channel really is about family, wealth, and legacy. But what I see in my particular so-called Black community, we're not Black, we know that on this channel, but the indigenous community is this dissension between a man and a woman, and it really hurts me.
Right, that's correct. Well, that's a large part of what's going on with the media and stuff, and social media. You know what I'm saying? We're causing ourselves to fall for the trap, and that's what they're trying to do is divide us. Who's stronger, the Black man or the Black woman? They're one and the same. They're one and the same. Okay, we got to stop letting them divide us as people.
Yes.
The way the outcome of our race is weighed is based on how we treat our women, fellas. I believe that wholeheartedly. Okay, but we can't look out for women that are out here being masculine and being disrespectful. I tell my daughter, you got brothers. You don't need to argue with no nigga, with no man. And if you feel that you got to argue with the man, I don't care if it's your husband, you tell him to call me. I'll cuss his ass out for you. You don't got to raise your voice. You don't have to raise your hand. That's what you have a father and brother for.
Amen.
Okay? And then learn to be the hell quiet sometimes. You ain't got to always voice your opinion when a bunch of men are standing around.
Amen.
Matter of fact, don't even be around your baby daddy and his friends. You go in the other room. There ain't nothing but a bunch of men in there, so you ain't got no business in there in the first place.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay? Hey, women teach your daughters that.
Yes.
But fathers teach your sons to respect our women to the point where, you know what I'm saying, they're going to have peace in their house. We don't want our sons and daughters bickering and fighting against each other because our race is doomed if we do.
Mm.
Period. All right, Doc, I'm out of here. Thank you. Let me know when the next one is, and I'll be jolly on the spot. I do like these think tanks that we, get
You're
ourselves involved
welcome.
in.
You've been very, very helpful to the Soul family and
Appreciate
resourceful
that.
and just all the information. I'm sorry that I kind of got off track with the talking about
No.
the importance of men in the family, but I see as a teacher, I'm in the schools, I get to
Mm-hmm.
see the effects of men not being in the home. But I want to
Oh,
take a
yeah.
pause. I want to take a
For
pause and say
sure.
thank,
No
thank you for
problem.
all those that sent a Cash App gift for supporting the work that we do over here. I want to personally thank Virginia Seegers so much. I thank Lindell Ritzy. Della Ann Smith says, thank you. I love Meechie Slay.
Thank you, baby.
Brenda sent a Cash App. Pauletta Coutinho, Mary Johnson, Ray Wortman, Leroy Russell, Beautiful Max Ministry. Chief Max takes good care of me. I mean, he actually is a provider and takes care of the
Very good.
show, so I don't have
Very
to
good,
worry.
Max. Very
Dorian
good.
Garner and all the Soul family that contributed. Anybody that asking, my Cash App is Mama Kia 13. That's $ MAMAKIA 13. Thank you so much. I love you all. I appreciate you. I like the discussion. I do get offended when people speak against men, and that you got to know my history. I got a doctorate degree in education and higher education. My
Yes.
dissertation and my research, the book that I wrote was on the importance of educating the Black man, the importance of retaining and graduating Black men from college, those men that are in college, helping them to
Yes.
succeed. My life work is dedicated to the men first. That's what I was called to do, and then to the women and children.
Very good. Very good. Very
That's
good.
what I was charged to do. So I'm a defender of the house. I'm a defender of the family. I give my own personal testimony where I was separated and divorced from my husband, my children's father. Creator worked on my mind. We had issues. I got married as a virgin at 18. So I believe in chase women. I don't have a problem with people that aren't, but that's my story.
Right.
We separated, divorced, whatever for problems. He got sick. I went back, restored my family, and took care of him to the day he passed. Because to me, his absence hurt the soul of my children. See what I'm saying?
That's correct. The nuclear family. That's what we call it.
Yes, sir. He had even gone and had another family, and I told her, it's okay. You're sick. Let me help you. I'm going to take care of you. The 4 children y'all had, the 4 children he and I had, and we're going to do this together.
Baby, woo, now that's divine order right there now.
Come on through here.
Shoot.
I told her, if he loves you, I love you.
Period.
If you got his kids,
Period.
those kids now belong to me. I don't have 4 anymore. I have 8. They call me Mama Kia. Her 3 children that she had before my former husband called me Mama Kia. So now I really have 11. Right. He expanded our empire. Everybody can't do that. But when you love your children and you love your family, you will do almost anything for the sake of love, family, and legacy. I walk that talk. You hear me?
I second
and I'll
that.
end on that. And great when he died, he left me wealth. He left me knowledge. He left me land, and he left a legacy. Come on.
That's right. And that's what it's about, preserving those legacies that our ancestors and our loved ones have left behind for us. And Doc, I got something good for you. And when you I'm gonna tell you what to do with that death certificate. Okay. So all his bonds and securities can come back to his family, and you can divide it amongst the family. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh yeah. I got something good for you, and it's not gonna be no chump change either.
Woo! Okay.
Right? Well, but see, they should have thought about that before they made this commercial system and made us the collateral to it. Back in the 70s, you couldn't say the value of collateral because your signature was the collateral for everything. And if everybody started running and putting value on their collateral, the banks would collapse because we would break the bank. I love you all. I look forward to part 2. Like I said, you guys got my information. Reach out to me individually and privately, and we will keep our conversations between ourselves and amongst ourselves private.
I love it. Thank you so much. What do we call you? Do we call you Attorney General?
Everybody just call me Meechie. Just call me Meechie. You know what I'm saying? Just call me Meechie.
Okay.
I'm not above you. I'm not beneath you. We are on the same path. And that's the road to redemption.
Come on. All right. We'll end with that. Thank you, Brother Meechie. I love you so much.
Peace and love. Peace and love. Yes, I love you too, Doc. You know, I've been in love with you from the first time I met you because you was voicing you was voicing the truth. Whether they understood it or not, or understood it or not, that was on them. Okay. But hey, keep doing what you're doing, Doc. You are blessed, highly favored.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you will be taken care of. So don't worry about it.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Key. All right.
You know it.
So you've met Meechie Slay, private attorney general and consumer advocate. He's given us a lot to think about, a lot to research. Reach out to him. Look in the chat. The information's in the chat. I will also put it in the description section of my YouTube channel and Rumble channel on the Dr. Kia Pruitt Show. That was Meechie Slay. I'm Dr. Kia Pruitt. I trust that I've said something to raise your vibrations and inspire you to create the most amazing, magnificent life that you desire and deserve. Go out and make this a great day, family. I love you. Bye-bye.